Hello friends, Cav here. Welcome to my retirement adventure. Well, this was supposed to be my 6-month video, reflections on what it's like being retired after 6 months. It's actually been the hardest video I've made so far. Got to my 6 months and thought, okay, well, let's just make this video. And it was then that I realized that I'm not exactly a reflective guy. My style's always been see where I want to go, find the path, and then stick to it. I never really looked back. I only ever really looked forward. So this has been a real eye-opener for me. I've tried to make this video 3 times, maybe 4. I might splice in some of the other stuff I did. Who knows what I'll do. And apologies for not shaving. But you know what? When you're retired, you don't have to shave if you don't want to. It's been a busy summer for music for me. I've done 17 gigs and probably, I don't know, 10 rehearsals, maybe a dozen, I don't know. I said to Marion, well, I just got this one last gig to do, and then I can take a break. She's like, well, you're retired. Every day is a break. And I realized that, you know, despite my best efforts, I was still looking for the routine of work. And I was kind of neglecting other things that would have made me happy. You know, I just heard the 3 o'clock bell ring over at Bandit Peak School, and I thought, yeah, they're getting trained for work. You know, I did retain the overall work vibe. One thing that I didn't retain was getting up at 5:30 in the morning. So now I get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, whether I need to or not. Here's my redneck table saw. Time for a little bit of a forest bath. Taking the dogs for a walk. Right, almost forgot this is a video about reflecting on 6 months of retirement. You know, I'm pretty tired right now. I'm an old guy after all. But it's the kind of tired that makes you happy. It's not the kind of tired you get because you've been driving home in rush hour. Even though I can hear vehicles where I'm at. That's somebody else driving, it's not me. You know, I think I might have mentioned on my last video, I was starting to forget what day of the week it is. I don't know if it's Monday or Saturday. They're all pretty much the same to me, except for one thing is nice. Went to wash my car yesterday. I didn't have to wait in a lineup. I just drove right in. I don't know if you've just retired or if you're thinking about it, but don't expect to feel retired right away. It does take some time. 6 months for me. I remember 3 months, I don't know if you watched that video. At 3 months, I thought I had it kind of figured out. Obviously, I didn't. Don't beat yourself up. It takes a while. You know, there's something else I noticed. I'm taking all my pills, I'm seeing the doc, all that stuff, but I wasn't eating properly, not as well as I should have. I thought I was too busy. I was making myself too busy. But now I've slowed down and eating properly. And I find I feel better because of it. You know, you work all your life to have something that you've always wanted, and then you get it. You can't detach from the person that you were before. I'm still that same guy, it's just now I'm that guy retired. You can do anything you want and go anywhere you want. Sometimes you have all that time and then you're like, you've got nowhere to go to. Good news is you can do something about it because you got lots of time. But the bad news about that having a lot of time is if you let yourself and you're not careful, you'll waste that time. You can sleep in as long as you want. If you sleep in a lot all the time, where your day is gone. Good news is So, you know what? Sometimes that's also the bad news. You can't always think of the good things. You still got your work friends. Bad news is they kind of weren't really friends. They felt like they were. You were in the same place every day, living the same experience. But once you're gone, you're not there anymore. That might be one of the harder things to come to grips with. Good news, you can go on vacation whenever you want. Bad news, it costs money to go on vacation. So I hope that you saved some money. Well, I guess I can say that learning how to reflect really made me think about the things that mean something to me. I mean, I always knew what meant something, but never really thought about it. When you work, you don't necessarily have time to reflect on yourself, your personal life, your likes and dislikes. You might think that that's what you're doing, but really everything you do is influenced by the fact that you have to work 5 out of 7 days or whatever kind of shift you work, but you're never really your own person. I mean, I get you are, but not the same way that you are when you're retired. So I think about things now, things I care about, because that's what's left. I realize that having sore muscles is a good thing. I mean, I've been actually doing things, climbing up ladders and building stuff. The sorest thing I ever had back in the old days was my back or my ass from sitting on a chair in the office. You know, I've realized that I'm the only one that's keeping me from doing what I want to do. Took a while. You never had to think about it before because you didn't really have the time. I'm way less stressed than I used to be. Back in my working life, I caused a lot of my own stress. I like to succeed, and like I said, I always look forward and work with a plan. A lot of times I'd overpromise what I could do. I always managed to deliver, but the stress of working yourself into tight timelines that didn't necessarily have to be that way, it's not there anymore. If you're like me, it's going to take some time to slow down and wind down and realize that there is no timeline now except the one you impose on yourself. I've chosen to not impose stress on myself. You know, I've always believed that you manifest your life. Well, Marion and I both do that, and that's a lot of the reason where we are. But there's more growth, more friends, we're moving. I don't know if you've noticed the background. We've been pulling out all of our perennials and plants. We're taking them out to Creekside. So this place is slowly going away from my life. You know, I've been in other places, but it's just another change, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, today is a rare day where I'm not with the dogs. Marion is still working a lot, and so I get the dogs. So when I go to Creekside, I take the dogs. She's working, I walk the dogs. I mean, we still share responsibilities. But today is a rare day. She's gone to Magic of Christmas. She does that every year, volunteers there. She's taking the dogs with her, and they're just not here. It's very quiet. It's a lot quieter than I'm used to, and I miss my little buddies. And that's one of the realizations I had too, is that dogs will love you as much as you love them, and even more. They'll love you even more than that. Well, there's one thing about being retired that is a little bit harder to take. It's your friends, like we're all getting older, and your friends start to, well, like leave this world. That happened before, but you know, there was work and routine to kind of numb the pain a bit. But now, when your friends are ill or not doing well, or they leave us, it's a lot harder because, you know, we're on our own now. We're together, all of us oldsters, but at the same time we're on our own, and so it's way more acute when one of your friends falls ill. And you know, it's part of getting old. You know, my time will come too, and I'm sure some people will be sad when I go, and some people won't care. Isn't that just the way life goes? Another thing, it's quite interesting. I literally get to see myself as I am since I've got this YouTube channel. I've never had that before. Never really thought about what I'm like, what I talk like, what I act like. You know, looking at yourself really opens up your eyes, and it's something that I think it's a great thing to do. We probably don't do it often enough, but yeah, I got the time to think, and I get to watch myself now. The life that you're used to, the one that you lived, it's gonna start passing you by once you're no longer fully participating, like job-wise. The world that needs to make a living is moving forward, and I'm figuring out myself. I'm figuring myself out. There's another load of plants to go to Creekside, rescuing the yard, one plant at a time. Well, 10 at a time. Well, I think that's probably everything I could think of that I'm reflecting on. Just to summarize, it's an eye-opener. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning how to reflect, think about stuff, what it means to me, rather than in the way I always thought about it. Everything was for a purpose. Now it's for things like, why are we here, and what makes life good, and which people do you care about and why, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not really sure how this video is going to turn out, but let's find out together. And I hope you like it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.